What's your name? How much dancing will Floyd Mayweather be doing tonight against Manny Pacquiao? He says he won't be doing that much dancing. He's going to come out aggressive. Time will tell. Welcome inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Roughly about 12 hours until the first bell, as the two super fighters will meet tonight. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. We'll hear from Dan Rayfield and Teddy Atlas. But first, Teddy has an X Factor piece. How can Floyd Mayweather suffer that first defeat in his career? How can Manny Pacquiao take advantage? Check this out.
All right, everybody's talking about their own angles, their own thoughts on what each guy can do on May 2nd to win the fight. And both guys match hand speed pretty good, and that's going to play big. Well, agree. But where I differ, more important than hand speed, foot speed. And to demonstrate with me, my man from Friday Night Fights, Saul, he's going to be Pacquiao. Thank you for being here. And Irish Mickey Ward needs no introduction.
How you doing, Dan?
Thanks, Mickey. You're going to be Mayweather. Okay. All right. Now, I noticed that Mayweather, you know, he uses technique. He's got great physical skills, obviously. He's 47-0. But sometimes he depends on reflexes, timing, quickness, and sometimes he throws away the book as far as technique.
Exactly.
And what he'll do, one of the things I'm thinking about, he'll jab, and he's so sure of his speed, his quickness, his timing, he'll jab, and he'll pull back. That can be a no-no. Because when you do, you're supposed to vacate with your legs.
You can get caught.
Yeah, you can get caught. And not only is it dangerous at any time pull back, but now he's 38 years old.
Time catches up to everybody.
It does catch up.
Doesn't wait.
It might catch up with him in this spot. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about. So, see, they're getting ready to get it on. Now, so let's see if you have quick enough feet to close the space, fill that space quick enough when he pulls back before he unloads with that right hand. That's what it's all about. Are you quick enough? Let's take a look right here.
A glacier.
Get right in there to score. Well, on May 2nd, it's all about the feet. If Pacquiao can demonstrate those quick feet, the same quick feet that Saul demonstrated, well, he's going to put a quick buck, more than a quick buck, a lot of quick bucks into his pocket when he pulls off the upset May 2nd. He's excited already.
I think Irish Mickey Ward was taking it easy on him. Teddy Atlas joining me now. Dan Rayfield, our boxing insider. Dan, let me start with you. The casual boxing fan may not realize that Floyd Mayweather was tested early in his career, very early, years back. So when you compare those fights to what he's facing now, what comes to mind?
Well, I mean, Manny Pacquiao is the most famous fighter maybe that he's fighting. But like you said, Robert, back in the early days of his career, he had some big-time tests against guys like Chico Corrales. He was an undefeated knockout artist who was just wrecking everybody. People thought Mayweather might lose. That was the last time I picked against Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather dropped him 5 times and stopped him in a great performance. When he fought for the title for the very first time against Gennaro Hernandez for the junior lightweight title, he was against Gennaro Hernandez, the undefeated fighter, now passed away a few years ago, but people thought he was fighting off much more than he could chew at that time. And what he did, he went out there and he dominated, he stopped the guy. So this is not Floyd Mayweather's first test, but it's his most famous test, and it's near the end of his career. People will remember it for a long time.
Teddy?
Those weren't his toughest tests, though. You know, those were the biggest names. But his toughest test was against Castillo. He won a split decision against Castillo. He almost lost that fight. Matter of fact, some people thought he did lose that fight. And guess what Castillo did? He brought pressure. He brought punches and buy him. Guess what Pacquiao does? He brings pressure and he brings punches and buy him. Back to the future, maybe. That's what Pacquiao's hoping for.
Dan, if Floyd is able to pull this out and beat Manny Pacquiao, what does this do with his legacy? Where did we rank him?
Well, he's already an all-time great fighter. He says he's the best ever. I would disagree with that. But if he wins against Manny Pacquiao on Saturday night, he certainly puts himself in the conversation with some of the other all-time greats who people do consider among the best of all time. But the thing is, he's going to have to win the fight. He's going to be an all-time great, win or lose. But this one will separate him from Pacquiao, who's also an all-time great. He'll be an all-time greater great.
Teddy, I'm not sure he's top 10 all-time, Floyd Mayweather. That doesn't mean he's not an all-time great, but there's a lot of great fighters throughout this year.
He's not in the top 20. I mean, he is.
I would disagree with that.
Well, go ahead. But he's not in the top 20. He's a terrific defensive fighter, terrific manager, terrific promoter, terrific businessman. But you go back to the 20s, to 30s, to 40s, the golden era of this great sport that goes back 200 years. You had fighters who had 300 fights. You had Henry Armstrong. The guy had close to 300 fights. He had 115 knockouts. He had 3 full weight classes. Featherweight, lightweight, welterweight. And he really won the middleweight. And they robbed him. They made it a draw. He defended all 3 of those full weight defense of weight classes in 2-month period. He was a monster, and he had the best fight nickname, Homicide Hank. Homicide Hank. Don't mess with Homicide Hank.
I'm not going to.
You have guys like that. You have guys like Harry Greb. Harry Greb had 300 fights. He lost about 15 of them. You had Archie Moore. He had 145 knockouts.
A great name.
Please.
Yeah.
You can't put Floyd with that. And then if you get contemporary, Sugar Ray Leonard was better.
Roberto Duran. There you go.
But
I'm not going to mess with anyone named Homicide or anyone named Little Puppet. That's just general rules for me. SportsCenter has you covered all day and all night. If you can't watch the fight, we've got a live recap on SportsCenter. Back to you in the studio.
What do I want my legacy in boxing to be?
You can set me free or bang me up.
hard work.
Just stop torturing and tell me what you're gonna do.
Not just the smartest guy inside the ring, but the smartest guy on the outside.
You can set me free or bang me up. Stop torturing and tell me what you're gonna do.
Well, on to another big story. The NFL isn't an undercard to anyone or anything. The draft enters its 3rd and final day, and while most of the big names are already off the board, Sarah, some quarterbacks still hanging around as the 4th round begins.
That's because apparently no arms needed in the 2nd round. It was the first time since 2005 no quarterbacks were taken in the 2nd. Garrett Grayson went in the 3rd. Trey Wingo, we're picking him to take over this segment. Trey, take it away from Chicago.